Now at Nightside, why the man accused of killing 2 teenagers and 2 adults in Kellogg has had his charges reduced.
We've got another system moving through the region tonight, bringing the clouds. I'll let you know if there's any rain or snow to go along with it in the first alert forecast.
And a woman found dead in northeast Spokane. The information police have released so far. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. We begin with breaking news. The man accused of killing 4 people in Kellogg has had his charges reduced thanks to a mediation agreement with the family of the victims. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Derek Dice. Major John Kaler has agreed to plead guilty to 4 counts of second-degree murder instead of first-degree murder. The family of the 4 victims has also agreed to drop the burglary charge that he was previously facing. The 31-year-old Kaler killed 2 adults and 2 teenagers in June. He told police he snapped and killed them because his wife told him an 18-year-old boy had exposed himself to Kaler's children. A hearing to change his plea is scheduled for Monday the 18th at 3 p.m. in the Shoshone County Courthouse. Well, police are investigating the death of a woman found in northeast Spokane tonight. Her body was found near Buckeye and Havana, a few blocks west of the Upriver Dam. A white dog was also found at the scene and was taken away by scraps. The Major Crimes Unit is investigating the woman's death, but as of right now, there are no more details being released. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you as many new details as they're uncovered. Well, today we heard from the family of Kiara Morgan Whelan. The 23-year-old is one of 2 victims who died in northeast Spokane over the weekend. Spokane police responded to reports of gunshots and found 37-year-old Colton Russell in his car and Kiara in the street. Kiara's mom, Lola Hansen, described her 23-year-old daughter as kind, playful, and compassionate. Kiara was a mother herself and leaves behind her 1-year-old son. Her mom says she aspired to be the best mom and a hair and makeup stylist. The Major Crimes Unit is still investigating this case. The cause or manner of death for both Colton and Kiara is still pending. Well, Mount Spokane is finally open for the season. The opening, because of the rain and our warmer than usual temperatures, kept melting all of that snow, but better late than never, right, Chris?
Absolutely. And I checked their webcam just now and saw just a few flurries happening up at the top of the mountain. It's not going to amount to much, but at least it is not raining. We saw a little bit of sunshine today. It didn't last long. With that 3:58 sunset, it is hard to squeeze in some sunshine. Our satellite and radar shows the clouds are moving back in as a weak disturbance pushes its way into our region. We've been picking up just a few mountain snow showers, but they are very, very light. We're staying dry in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Here's our forecast radar. The clouds will be increasing tonight, as will the possibility of snow up along the Canadian border and along the east slopes of the northern Cascades. As we get into tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening, there is the possibility of a few isolated sprinkles. Measurable precipitation, however, will be hard to come by. Temperatures to start the day tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit cooler with the clear skies. We'll be dropping down into the mid-20s, but these temperatures are just about average. We've had some fairly mild nights. Tomorrow's highs will be up above freezing everywhere, including some 40s. Wenatchee, 40 degrees at St. Mary's, and 45 in Lewiston. Your Thursday planner, mostly cloudy skies, may manage a little hint of sunshine right around noon, hitting that high of 36 degrees. I'll be back with your weekend forecast plus some Wildlife Wednesday photos in just a few minutes. Derek?
Well, an unbelievable story from around the Northwest. A 72-year-old Idaho woman missing for 4 days has been found alive after crashing her car in a canyon. Officials in Canyon County say Penny Clark was reported missing on December 5th. A few days later, she was found near a ravine. The Canyon County Sheriff says it's miraculous she was even found. Clark is recovering from her injuries at a local hospital. Well, former WSU quarterback Cam Ward is a step closer to finding a new home for next season. On3 Sports is reporting Ward is scheduled to visit Florida State in the coming days. Sports director Julian Minensone joins us now. And Julian, why would Cam choose FSU over, say, Miami, where he just visited?
Well, Cam is highly sought after right now. He is the big man on campus. Miami pulled out the red carpet treatment. They even had rapper Rick Ross part of the pitch meeting. but Florida State might be the better fit for Cam. Ward would be replacing Jordan Travis, whose injury was the only difference between FSU going to the college football playoff and being left out. Ward threw for more yards and touchdowns than Travis did this past season, and he'd be going to a program that just went undefeated. Now, it's no secret that Ward was going to have a number of substantial offers this offseason. Ward wants to increase his NFL draft stock while taking advantage of NIL opportunities. This was the expectation after WSU's season came to an end, and it's looking like Ward is a step closer to doing that. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Well, tragedy on the Evergreen State College campus in Olympia. 1 student died and 3 others found foaming at the mouth, overcome by carbon monoxide in their campus housing. ABC's Mola Lengi has the story.
Tonight, students at Evergreen State College are outraged and demanding answers after a suspected carbon monoxide leak on campus that killed 1 student and injured 3 others just before winter break.
No justice, no peace.
Several students holding up signs and pointing the finger at the administration, voicing what they say is inadequate housing across campus.
So many people on this campus have been harmed by mold in the dorm, something going wrong with their dorm.
The conditions here are just terrible.
It was on Monday when, according to officials, officers were called to an area of student housing when a residence manager could not contact a student in the home. An officer breaking down the door to get inside.
Male and female, foaming at the mouth.
1 patient with CPR, 1 unconscious, 1 conscious.
Crews on scene testing for carbon monoxide. 21-year-old computer science major Jonathan Rodriguez was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators are now working to pinpoint where the leak came from. Just that day, a campus contractor responded to carbon monoxide alarms in that same complex.
A forensic engineering team specializing in carbon monoxide poisoning was flown in and is on campus investigating the source of that gas leak. Mola Lengi, ABC News, Denver.
And dozens showed up at Red Square on the Evergreen campus tonight to remember Rodriguez, the most outspoken of his friends, holding the administration accountable for his death.
Last year alone, my roommate got mold poisoning.
We need to know that we're not going to literally die in our sleep.
The executive vice president of Evergreen State College says their specialists are making arrangements for another round of tests, but these students say they're not waiting for the results. They bought their own carbon monoxide detectors and installed them in their campus homes. A new report found high school students aren't using ChatGPT to cheat. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence chatbot that can create responses and essays in just seconds. According to researchers at Stanford, the percentage of high school students who cheat remains statistically unchanged. That's compared to previous years without ChatGPT. The university conducted the anonymous survey among students at 40 U.S. high schools. It found about 60 to 70% of students have engaged in cheating behavior in the last month, a number that's the same or even slightly decreased since ChatGPT was released. Well, thousands of American eagles killed and sold in the black market, the men responsible. And the struggle against water contamination continues in the West Plains neighborhood. How you can get involved in the fight.
I have some Wildlife Wednesday photos for you coming up after the break, but a preview. Let's start with this one from Angela Davis. She captured this silhouette of a doe this week at Perch Point at Potholes Reservoir. Beautiful shot there. Angela, thank you so much. I'll be back with more.
If you stay up, I'll give you a ride to the airport. Well, maybe let's put it up on the screen and see the before and after here and see what we got. Because, Carrie, I think you did a pretty good job.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Spokane Wedding Expo is January 6th. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
Your eyes deserve something more. Something luxurious. Something striking. Something sophisticated. Not to mention something affordable. And at Eyeglass World's designer sale, you can get 50% off lenses when you buy stylish frames from many of our most loved designer brands, like Nike, Calvin Klein, DKNY, and more. Get 50% off lenses for a limited time. The designer sale, only at Eyeglass World.
Experience the magic and share the joy at Disney's Frozen, the spectacular new musical.
From the producer of The Lion King and Aladdin, this beloved story comes to life on stage in an unforgettable theatrical experience. You've never seen Frozen like this.
Disney's Frozen is coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts, July 24th to August 4th. Don't be left out in the cold. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com today.
I was only planning to jingle some of the way tonight, but now I think I might be jingling all the way for you.
It's never too early for late night cheer.
How satisfied are you with your visit with us?
I'm not satisfied.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CRV. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Spokane's hottest music.
Man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
4 News Now is brought to you by PAR, your total home building source.
I've got some great Wildlife Wednesday photos for you tonight. Starting off with this one that makes me smile from Mark Vogt. This bull elk digging around trying to get something to eat and ends up with a face full of snow. And I think it looks like he's laughing. It definitely has a smile on his face. Put a smile on my face. Allie Ray, gorgeous shot from Higgins Point. A bald eagle in action. There's the kokanee, and look at those talons. No wonder they rarely miss. Thank you, Allie. Carol Ellis of Meade says she's got several of these male ringneck pheasants strutting around her property. The colors look so vivid with the white background with the snow. One of my favorites, an adorable little black-capped chickadee from Susie Corpay, and you can see he's all puffed up to insulate himself from the cold. And from Shannon Verity, a cow moose relaxing in the snow down around Tico. Looks very calm and happy there sitting in that snow. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. We have a weak system moving through tonight through Thursday. Mostly cloudy skies. As a result, we're going to stay dry through the weekend other than an isolated sprinkle or two tomorrow. There's the possibility of some rain and snow coming Monday and Tuesday of next week. But boy, it looks like a long shot. It does not look very impressive. Here's a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. This black line down here is our average high, which continues to go down, but we are above average through the 7-day forecast and above freezing, mid to upper 30s on most days. May hit 40 on Tuesday, so if we do get any precipitation, it most likely will just be in the form of rain. We're getting awfully close to Christmas, and the odds of a white Christmas really don't look very good. It is an El Nino year. This is our temperature trend for December 21st through the 27th. That's that 8 to 14 day outlook, and we are in that medium orange color indicating above average temperatures, and that's the case throughout the entire western United States and beyond. And we are also in this little sliver of yellow, at least a trend toward below average precipitation. You can see where the jet stream is expected to be through that time period to our south across the southern United States. Again, a fairly typical weather pattern in this type of El Nino scenario. Your planning forecast for the next 4 days, dry conditions. Tomorrow, again, a sprinkle, not out of the question. And then we have our next chance of precipitation coming in Monday and into Tuesday. But that looks a little iffy as well. Overnight lows through the 7-day forecast will be below freezing. So we'll be doing a lot of freezing and thawing and not a lot of piling up of snow in the mountains. But hopefully they can hold on with these temperatures to what they have.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, fingers crossed for those ski resorts, for sure. Chris, thank you. Well, 2 men are now being accused of killing thousands of American eagles and selling them on the black market. According to the Department of Justice, Simon Paul and Travis Branson were indicted by a grand jury for killing 3,600 birds on the Flathead Indian Reservation in Montana. Those include golden eagles and bald eagles. The DOJ says the killings happened between 2015 and 2021. Paul is from St. Ignatius, Montana. Branson is from Cusick. It's illegal to harm or kill a golden or bald eagle under a protection act that's been in effect since 1940. Paul and Branson now face conspiracy and wildlife trafficking charges. They're scheduled to be arraigned on January 8th in Missoula. Tomorrow, the Spokane City Council will decide if the Salvation Army will continue operating the city's largest homeless shelter. The Salvation Army has been running the Trent Resources Center for over a year now, but their contract is set to expire on December 31st. If approved, the new contract would cost the city more than $3 million and would last until the end of April. The Spokane Regional Health District is reporting an outbreak of Shigella, primarily among the homeless population. Now, Shigella is a gastrointestinal infection that can spread quickly with symptoms of diarrhea, fever, and stomach pain. Health officials say as of right now, there have been 57 confirmed cases here in Spokane County and 4 confirmed cases across the border in Kootenai County. The CDC is calling antimicrobial resistance an urgent global public health threat. That's when germs develop the ability to resist or defeat the antibiotics designed to kill them, making treating infections difficult and sometimes even impossible. In the U.S., more than 2.8 million antimicrobial resistant infections happen each year, killing more than 35,000 people, according to the CDC.
This is why we should only use antibiotics when they are necessary. If we don't, these life-saving medicines may not work for future generations.
The CDC says what we can do is prevent infections and the spread of germs. Therefore, fewer antibiotics and antifungals will be needed in the first place. And being up to date on vaccinations can also help. The fight against water contamination continues in the West Plains neighborhood. PFAS, also known as forever chemicals, were found around the Spokane International Airport. The Department of Ecology invites you to learn about the potential health impacts of PFAS and how you can get involved in the cleanup. The president of the West Plains Water Coalition, John Hancock, says many members have questions about PFAS contamination and how they plan to clean it up.
The uncertainty that a person feels when they turn on the tap to get a drink of water. Is my water safe to drink or not? And there are thousands of people on the West Plains that don't yet have an answer.
Hancock says public involvement matters for a big issue like this. As the Department of Ecology waits for the negotiation to be signed by the Spokane Airport, the goal is to provide as much information as possible. There are over 2,000 private wells in that area. Dr. Chad Pritchard of Eastern Washington University says his plan is to help test those wells for free. Anyone with concerns is welcome to the public meeting at 7 p.m. Thursday at the Hub in Airway Heights. The Coeur d'Alene Police Department's annual hospital toy drive is back. It started in 2015 when one staff member had to spend the holiday with his infant at Sacred Heart. He received a small gift there and was moved to start the toy drive to make sure every family going through something similar could feel the support that he did.
When you're a child and you're sick and in the hospital, you don't have a lot of perspective on what's happening to you, and most of the time it gets really scary. So if we can somehow turn that fear into normalcy or happiness through the giving of gifts, that is our ultimate goal.
You can drop off toys at the police department and several other locations throughout the Inland Northwest. That list of locations with drop-off times can be found on KXLY.com. Well, you only have a few days left to ship presents if you want them to arrive in time for Christmas. Amazon says the last day for free shipping is tomorrow. The FedEx ground shipping deadline is Friday. Saturday is the last day of ground shipping for the U.S. Postal Service, and UPS recommends you enter the addresses that you're shipping to on their website to get the specific dates. You can use these same shipping deadlines if you're sending something for Kwanzaa. Well, new on Nightside, don't forget to thank your Amazon driver this season. With each thank you you send, Amazon will send $5 to that driver for the first 2 million thank yous at no charge to you. Here's how you do it. You can tell Alexa to thank your driver on an Alexa device, or search for Thank My Driver on Amazon's website or app. The driver who did your most recent delivery will be notified and then get $5 from the company. Well, the dangerous feature that is causing Tesla to recall their cars, that's coming up next here on Nightside.
Later on Nightline, Biden backlash, the president facing blowback over his support of Israel. We're in the key swing state of Michigan. Plus, Wonka set to hit theaters with Timothée Chalamet in the iconic velvet suit.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
My darling granddaughter, this camera was given to me when I was your age. May it capture your big, beautiful life the way it did mine.
It's so surprising what the little things can do. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody...
Oh, Merry Christmas, Grandma.
This holiday season, even Santa needs to stock up on the freshest ingredients for a magical feast. From green beans, Brussels sprouts, and prime rib to our signature cookies and Cyrus O'Leary apple pies, we've got it all for your holiday gatherings. And just when Santa thought his list was complete,
Santa, don't forget to pick up something special for dinner, dear.
make your holidays magical with my Fresh Basket, where even Santa shops for the finest ingredients. Happy holidays from my Fresh Basket.
Stay safe while traveling this winter. Before you head out, trust the First Alert weather team to pinpoint the safest times to go and exactly what to expect. 4 News Now First Alert weather on air, on the app, and streaming on KXLY Plus. Stay safe during the winter travel season with 4 News Now. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. The First Alert weather team is working around the clock, pinpointing the safest times to travel, alerting you to danger so you'll always be prepared. Follow live radar on our app and watch live streaming updates free on KXLY Plus. 4 News Now First Alert weather. Trust us to keep you safe wherever you're headed. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Salvation Army Spokane.
Well, thanks for staying up with us here on Nightside. An important consumer alert now. Tesla is recalling nearly 2 million cars because of nearly 1,000 crashes reported with its autopilot feature. The company has agreed to do a software update limiting the auto steer feature if a driver repeatedly fails to demonstrate they're ready to resume control of the car while the feature is on. Tesla will mail letters to owners notifying them of the change. The Supreme Court confirmed today that it will consider the legality of a commonly used abortion drug, mifepristone. The dispute centers on the FDA's authority to regulate the medication, which was first approved in 2000. For now, mifepristone remains available and is not subject to restrictions the lower courts have said should be imposed on its use. The U.S. Supreme Court is expected to make its ruling by next July, just months before the 2024 presidential election. Well, the Dow reached a record high today, jumping as the Federal Reserve put a pause on increasing interest rates. It's a sign the economy has been moving mostly in the right direction with inflation cooling. If inflation keeps trending lower, some economists think the Fed could even start to cut rates next year, which would be helpful for borrowers paying off credit card debt or buying a home. In anticipation of potential rate cuts, the cost of a new mortgage rate is dropping. If you take out a $400,000 mortgage at today's average rate of 7%, your monthly payment at $2,600 is almost $300 cheaper than it was in October when the rates hit 8%. But even though these rates are coming down, they're still close to 20-year highs.
The lower inflation readings over the past several months are welcome, but we will need to see further evidence to build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal.
The inflation slowed to a rate of 3.1% last month, but that's still high and well above the Fed's 2% target. Today, the House of Representatives passed a resolution to formalize an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. Republican leadership has pointed out that the inquiry may not result in an actual impeachment. Democrats call the move a political stunt as President Biden heads into an election year. Well, the Eastern Washington men's basketball team played their first home game in 3 weeks. How the Eagles are looking as they get closer to conference play. That's coming up next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the percussion sensation Stomp. BroadwaySpokane.com.
Okay, what are the stories that take you back to some of your happiest times? Thursday night, celebrate 100 years of...
When I think of Disney, one word that comes to mind...
Whoa, amazing.
Dreams.
Oh, wow.
Supercalifragilistic. Forever magical.
The secrets, the fun, the wow, and the stories behind the stories you love as you've never seen before. Disney 100, A Century of Dreams. Thursday night at 9, 8 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu and Disney+.
Arby's, 2 for $7. Every day. The big beefy boy that started it all. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
You're feeding it.
I will, I promise. Thanks to our Premier Rewards Visa credit card from ICCU, we earned enough cash back to stock up on puppy supplies.
But we don't have a puppy.
They're very convincing children.
Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Use your Red Tag bonus cash to get $87.50 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Arby's, 2 for $7. Every day, a classic, a favorite, an Arby's legend. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
Well, to play or not to play? That is the question the Seahawks are asking Geno Smith. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Smith sat out of Sunday's game against the San Francisco 49ers due to a groin injury. ESPN reported that Smith's injury typically has a 2-week recovery time, meaning Smith would be out for the next game. However, head coach Pete Carroll didn't commit one way or another as far as Smith's availability for Monday. The team will evaluate Smith this week before making its final decision. If Smith can't go, backup quarterback Drew Lock will.
We'll see, how he comes back. These couple days right here are just so valuable for him, getting all the treatment.
Now, the basketball team in our state with the best record is not Gonzaga or even Washington. It's Washington State. WSU is 8-1. They've won 6 straight games, and outside of number 1 Arizona, the Cougars have the best record of any team in the Pac-12. While the team is happy with where they're at, head coach Kyle Smith says they haven't played against a ton of major competition. The last game against the Power Conference opponent was Mississippi State back in November, which is WSU's only loss. Now Washington State will head to Phoenix to take on Santa Clara in the Jerry Colangelo Classic, and Smith is just looking for the Cougs to take care of business.
I know last year we were crisscrossing the country and we're hurt and damaged and couldn't really put it together till late in the season where we had our run, but I feel like we kind of know what we have.
WSU tips off against Santa Clara at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Eastern Washington men's basketball only playing their second home game of the season, taking on Portland Bible College. Eastern was off and running from the opening whistle. Eagles get the stop on defense. Cedric Coward must have been mad at the rim. Coward slams it home. He led all scorers with 25 points. Still in the first half, Eastern up by double digits. Casey Jones. Yeah, that's a grown man move right there for the dunk. Eastern Washington shot 60% tonight. Here they are on the break once more. Big Sky Player of the Week, Jake Kyman, finds Vice Zonke for the dunk. Eastern wins this one no problem. 103-34 is the final. The Eagles never trailed in this game. Eastern Washington will next take on Cal Poly on the road on Monday. And Idaho kicker Ricardo Chavez has declared for the NFL draft. Chavez made 19 of his 24 field goals this past season, but none were bigger than that one right there, the game-winning field goal against Southern Illinois to send Idaho to the FCS quarterfinals. Chavez also made first-team all-conference for special teams in the Big Sky. And you can't convince me otherwise that kicking isn't one of the hardest jobs on the football field. You barely warm up. You only get out there for, a few seconds or so, and sometimes the game rides on your leg whether you can make it.
Yeah, at least he's got the dome stadium to be kicking in, not out in the elements. Did a little research on Portland Bible College while you do anything. Tallest guy on the team, 6'7". Eastern, one of the biggest teams in the Big Sky tonight. For sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Julian, thank you so much.
Back at it again.
I got nothing else to do. I got twins at home. I got to get out of the house.
Tomorrow, George Clooney, Michael Strahan, the all-new Interview.
Person you trade places with for a day.
Tomorrow.
It's a crazy thing.
Only on
Good Morning, America.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Roundup's like an accidental savings account.
But how much can you really save?
Yeah, I mean...
Whoa.
If you're actually trying to recover and you want to get better, it's just one step at a time. You put one foot in front of the other and you'll find that each day it'll get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And then next thing you know, you're not even thinking about it. You're thinking about the future, not the past. I can tell you it's worth it. It's hard, but it's worth it. Just one step in front of the other. It's going to get better. It just takes time.
My frequent heartburn had me taking antacid after antacid all day long. But with Prilosec OTC, just one pill a day blocks heartburn for a full 24 hours. For one-and-done heartburn relief, Prilosec OTC, 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn.
Ooh, stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex? Breathe.
Your whole health is more than what you find at the doctor's office because it's all around you. The food you eat, what makes you happy, and what keeps you up at night. The place you call home. It's why we created a health insurance company that considers so much more. WellPoint, your whole health is our whole point.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. It's pretty quiet. A few sprinkles tomorrow evening, otherwise dry right on through the weekend with the possibility of a little wet weather Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, and really, again, like you said, pretty uneventful, at least through the weekend, considering the time of year.
Absolutely.
Good for when we are driving around. All right, also good, Mount Spokane finally open for the season. It had to delay their opening because of the rain and our warmer than usual temperatures that kept melting all of that snow. But the folks at Mount Spokane certainly thankful to be open. I know they had, I think they had 3 chairs open today, and there were a lot of people that were certainly happy to get up and dust off those snowboards and skis and get out on the slopes, at least for a little bit.
Look like a blast. And even though we're not getting a bunch of new snow in the forecast, we're also not melting snow in the forecast. So those state-of-the-art groomers will move that snow around and churn it under, and it'll be perfect.
All right. And Julian, you're talking about Geno Smith questionable for Monday night against Philadelphia. What's your crystal ball saying?
Crystal ball says that he will give it a go because they absolutely need a win. It's their worst losing streak under head coach Pete Carroll, and if they want to sneak into the playoffs, they're going to need him at quarterback.
Yeah, it's hard to remember that we were 6-3 not all that long ago.
Different lifetime.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on 4 News Now Nightside. Don't forget, you can wake up bright and early with Good Morning Northwest starting at 5 a.m. We'll see you guys tomorrow.